I'm Caroline Hendershot, and this is What's Your Why, an in-depth interview series where you get to know the player underneath the helmet at the New York Jets. On part one with Sauce Gardner, we spoke about growing up in Detroit, what made him fall in love with the game of football, and his evolution from Ahmad to Sauce Gardner. For more exclusive content, make sure you subscribe to the Jets YouTube channel and stay tuned for part two. All right, Sauce. Before there was Sauce, there was Ahmad, the boy who grew up in Detroit. What would you say you were like as you were growing up?
I was always athletic. You know, I grew up always playing basketball, football. I used to play AAU. I used to get in trouble in school from time to time. I used to be a class clown, stuff like that. But I was always smart. I was always intelligent. Like, my grades was always good. Yeah, that was me. Oh, and I always loved video games, just like I do now.
You grew up in 7 Mile, Detroit, right?
Yes. It's not like in 7 Mile, so it's like on the east side of Detroit. Mm-hmm. But the way that it's set up is like you got different miles. You got like 6 Mile, 7 Mile. You probably know 8 Mile because of Eminem and stuff like that. So I grew up on the east side of 7 Mile, which is in Detroit.
For those who don't know, what was that like growing up there?
It was kind of rough. You know what I'm saying? You just never knew. You just never knew what you was gonna see. You never knew what was gonna happen that day. You know, that's like Detroit in general. It's just certain things like that you will see. You got PTSD from seeing different things, you know, at young ages and fighting going on. You got people getting killed every day. You know, you just could just be playing the game, then you hearing gunshots that sound like they right down the street or right around the corner. And I feel like that made me who I am today because, you know, when people meet me, they don't all the way know, like, oh, you from Detroit, you act a little different. Like, I feel like now I'm kind of, like, more soft-spoken, you know, especially, like, obviously when I'm not on the field. Like, when I'm on the field, I'm a whole different person, but, like, when I'm off the field, it's like I'm more calm, more chill now. And I feel like that's just what we're going through, childhood and life in Detroit. That's just what that did to me. Like, it made me understand, made me appreciate life more, you know, especially when I was able to go to college, you know. Going to college, I was able to feel like I made it out, you know, and then just being able to get to the NFL and be able to take care of my mom, take care of my family, you know, it's truly a blessing.
Do you feel like there was a moment growing up where you kind of were forced to realize how dangerous where you were growing up was and kind of that reality?
I've seen somebody get killed before. I've seen somebody get shot and killed before, and that wasn't on 7 Mile. This was after I was a little bit older. I was probably like 12, 13. That's what I really realized, like, you know, this is what it's like in Detroit. You know, obviously you always hear gunshots and you always knew because my mom, she used to always have the news on. So you always know, like, oh, that's where those gunshots, that's where that happened at. Because being where we lived at, you could just be able to hear it and be like, oh, that's over there by whatever the street is. But I would probably say that moment, that's when I actually, like, knew. And I feel like it just really made me make sure I'm on a, like, narrow, like a straight path. Like school, I made sure I was perfect grades and stuff like that. High school, I think my cumulative GPA was like a 3.5. Same in college, you know, it just made sure I was on my A game and everything. It made sure like I was attending those camps, especially the free ones. If it was one I had to get like paid for, I was asking my mom because I always like knew like I was gonna go there and I was gonna ball, I was gonna dominate. It's one of those things I'm like, if I tell people this, they're gonna overdo it and make it a huge deal when it don't call for all of that.
Do you think it made you more on the straight and narrow because you realized that you didn't want to stay in that type of lifestyle forever?
I always had strict parents, my mom and my dad, so it really made me understand why I was raised the way that I was raised. Specifically with my mom, because my mom, like, we was always closer, and I always lived with my mom, you know, because my mom and my dad wasn't together. It made me realize, like, when my mom used to tell me, like, don't go off the block, and I still sneak and go around the corner to my friend's house, like, dang, like, anything could have happened. It really used to make me, like, it really made me appreciate my mom even more. Like, I used to think she just used to want me having fun. That's just how all kids think when their mom is strict and don't want them doing certain things and don't want them hanging around certain people. But when I seen that happen and went through that phase of my life, it made me understand, like, this is why she was how she was growing up. And even to this day, I'm grown, I'm in the NFL, like, she blow my phone up 24/7, so it's like, I be trying to balance it and I be like, she probably don't even need nothing like that. Then I understand, like, this my mom, like, I'm always gonna be her little boy at the end of the day. So that's how that is. But I feel like also that situation made me overprotective. That's why I don't always post, like, so much stuff about my mom and stuff like that when I'm with my mom, because the way I think, what if it's one day she's in Detroit, or, like, she don't live in Detroit, but it could be a reason she go to Detroit and people just see her because I posted her, and it's just stuff like that. I really don't like posting certain things because I have trust issues, especially when it comes to Detroit and when it comes to, like, the hood. I don't really like posting too much.
How else did she guide you as you were growing up?
Man, she guided me in many ways. You know, she taught me how to treat a woman. You know, and a lot of times that's like stuff that your dad would do, your father would do. But she really taught me how to treat a woman. You know, and that's why when it comes to women, whether it's somebody I don't know, whether it's my grandma, my auntie, it's like I make sure I treat them with care, respect, and everything like that. And like school, obviously she made sure I was getting good grades in school, but that's just one of those things where it's like, what's understood don't need to be explained. You know, I always made sure I was coming back, my report card was good, you know, so I can get a new game system no matter what it was. Like I told her when I got drafted, she my superhero. She'd make things happen for me. You know, work two different jobs if she had to, so I can get a PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? Or so I can get a game. Or I remember the first day I got a flat screen TV. It was a 32-inch. It was for Christmas. Like, that was one of the best days of my life, you know.
So when were you first introduced to football, and what was that like?
I still be having I be reminiscing. I remember I played flag football. I played flag football for like a year. I was like four for sure. I played flag football, but my brother, his name Alante, he used to always play catch with me in the backyard. And I just remember as I used to get older, it used to go from like the backyard to the front yard, to then we like right in front of each other playing catch. So then I was be dang near on the end of the block. We throwing the ball as high as we can. I'm catching the ball in the end. So it's like, he introduced me to it when I was about 4 years old. But that's like when I can remember. I'm sure like I first came out the womb, I had a football, you know. And I always just used to watch him. I remember he changed his number to number 2. I got number 2. He changed his number to number 1. I got number 1. Like, he's just one of those guys. Like, I used to always follow him. You know, everything he used to do, I used to want to do it. And I remember I played Pop Warner when I was 5. Pop Warner, I was supposed to go from 5 to 6, and then I was supposed to start playing PAL. PAL is huge in Detroit PAL. You know, that's a lot of people, that's where they go. You know, when they're going through things, you can always play in PAL. Obviously, it's free. And I was supposed to be 7 to play on the D team. That's the youngest you can be in PAL. I was 6, but they just let me practice one day, and like I was 6 years old. I was cooking the 7 and 8 year olders, so you know they pulled some strings for me, which I don't think they're supposed to do, but we ain't gonna talk about that. They pulled some strings for me, and yeah, I was playing in PAL.
How did your whole family kind of help support this dream and kind of help you get to that level that you ended up getting to?
Man, one of the main things I say is like the camps. Camps, those helped me get my name out there some. You know, I never was the biggest recruit at all. So like, if my mama couldn't fund something, like me being able to call my grandma and ask for this amount, auntie asked for this amount, like just little things like that, you know, they went a big way.
So you were 6 years old when a coach first started calling you Sauce.
Yeah.
What's the backstory behind that for people that don't know it?
I used to always go to the football field. I get there early before practice started. And my coach, Coach Tez, he always be playing catch with us and stuff like that. And I just remember, like, I don't remember how I caught the ball, but he threw the ball real far. Caught the ball, he used to always come back like, oh, look at me, coach, look at me. And he gave me the name A1 Sauce Sweet Feet Gardner. As I got older, he'd just be calling me Sauce Man. And like, it was just Sauce after that.
Why do you still prefer to go by Sauce?
My best days of football was when I was like 6. Right now, obviously, I'm probably not gonna say like the best days, obviously, because I'm living my dream right now. But it's like, those were the days. Like, I used to, every time somebody would call me Sauce, I used to get so happy, like, 'cause I just got the nickname. So it's just like, I can still remember it clear, you know, when I was 6 years old. So, you know, it was just a blessing. I was 6 years old, getting called Sauce, and just being able to just have fun with the game and just be able to start my journey there. I feel like flag football was cool, Pop Warner was cool, but when I got the nickname Sauce, that's when I really started my journey, obviously, because, you know, I'm still getting called that name to this day.
What part of the game made you fall in love with it and you were like, this is for me?
When Little League would be starting, I used to have my friends, because we all used to be local. They used to stay on the same block or around the corner. We all come to my house. Mind you, we just got brand new helmets. We all come to my house and go outside, and we used to just play like pick them up, mess them up. That's when you throw the ball in the air, somebody catch it, and they got to run down and score. It's like we used to have full pads on, hidden, like day in and day out, and it'd be day one of actually hitting at practice. Our coach would see all the stuff on our helmet and stuff like that, so you could tell like we've been doing something. You know what I'm saying? So just being able to grow older and that competitive nature still be there, you know, that really made me fall in love with the game.
Okay, I'm gonna show you a video from when you were a freshman. You can click play and watch it. A freshman in high school.
I remember this. Let me see.
My sophomore year, my junior year, my senior year, get them offers, get all state, go to the pros.
With the 4th pick, the New York Jets select Sauce Gardner, defensive back, Cincinnati.
So you like speak this into existence, your freshman year of high school. How did you have the confidence to know that you could do all of that?
I'd probably say like my mom believing in me, my immediate family believing in me. All it takes is one person, you know what I'm saying? So being able to have them believe in me, that's all it took. I don't get it twisted. I used to have people at my high school, because on that video I was probably like 5'7", 5'8", 120 pounds, 130 pounds. So I used to have people telling me like, I ain't gonna be able to make it. Like, that's just how Detroit was. If you ain't have all the hype around you, they gonna say you can't make it. And it'll be the people that's closest to you. You know what I'm saying? And everything that I said in that video, it happened. Like the all-state, going to the pros, going to college, doing my thing, like all of that really happened. And that happened because I had somebody who believed in me.
Does it ever make you kind of like emotional when you think of where you came from and where you got to and all of that went into it?
I be trying not to think about it too much, cause I know I'm an empath, so I am emotional. You know what I'm saying? I can get emotional, so it definitely do. You know what I'm saying? But you know, like I said, just being able to make my mom happy. She the one who make me emotional, cause she wear her heart on her sleeve all the time. So it could be the littlest thing, and she just gets so emotional. Then that's what make me emotional. Like, I try to be the person that act all like I'm not emotional, because I got people around me who are emotional, you know, so yeah. I feel like it's just a blessing to be able to, you know, say that I made it and my mama taken care of.
For more exclusive content, make sure you subscribe to the Jets YouTube channel and stay tuned for part 2 with Sauce Gardner, where we talk about his experience at Cincinnati, his first 2 years in the NFL, and what he wants to accomplish this season.